the Swiss government is ready to transfer Russian frozen assets in favor of Ukraine. The Minister of Foreign Affairs of the country, Ignacio Cassis, said that Switzerland was completely for the fact that Russian money which they keep abroad and which is being frozen due to the unleashed war against Ukraine went to the speedy restoration of Ukrainian territories.
If we are serious about helping to rebuild Ukraine, we need to think about how we are going to finance that. We cannot just take money that doesn't belong to us just because we think this is morally right. The right to property is fundamental. Ignacio Cassis, Foreign Minister of Switzerland, in an interview with the Swiss newspaper Tages-Anzeiger.
Cassis added that a change in the law that would allow for the rapid confiscation of Russian sanctioned money would likely require a referendum. At the same time, Switzerland has already frozen more than $8 billion of Russian assets. This is just a fraction of approximately 200 billion francs, which according to experts are in the country and cannot yet be frozen, because not all of their owners are under sanctions. The situation is similar in many partner countries of Ukraine.
The Swiss say this will lead to instability of the financial system and so on. These are all things that can be said with great reserve. That there are reasons for not making a quick decision. But the most important thing is that the world today is afraid to violate the rule of law, creating a precedent when in fact the country has not admitted its guilt in aggression, but its money is confiscated.
The legal service of the European Union is looking for a solution on how to send the frozen assets of at least the central bank of the aggressor country Russia to Ukraine. The assets of the Central Bank of Russia in the EU are about 34 billion euros, according to preliminary estimates. They're also trying to send them to restore the infrastructure of Ukraine, but the mechanism is only in development.
The problem is that everyone is well aware that the confiscation of assets that belong to individuals is an encroachment on private property, but the world will try to bring the situation to the point where Russia recognizes its aggression, and decisions will be made in accordance with the agreement with Ukraine on the obligation to pay reparations.
The Estonian government is trying to legalize the confiscation of Russian assets, and Kyiv is already compiling a register of military damage based on the UN resolution, according to which all losses caused by the Russian army will be registered for further filing of claims for their compensation. In a situation where Ukraine will be submitting a claim to Russia in the future that Russia will refuse to fulfill, Ukraine can theoretically seek help from other countries or the EU in fulfilling these claims from assets of the Russian Federation under their jurisdiction. We definitely need to find some sort of legal solution for the matter of the seizure of sanctioned assets. Leah Danielson-Yag, Minister of Justice of Estonia, at a government press conference. Estonia will follow the Canadian example of seizure of property in the issue of confiscation. The same was stated in the British Foreign Office. So far, the issue of assets has been resolved in the US and Canada. Washington adopted corresponding amendments to the already existing law. As a result, since the Russian invasion, the U.S. Department of Justice has confiscated $500 million worth of yachts, real estate and other assets from individuals who support the Russian government or evade United States sanctions. Canada, on the other hand, adopted regulations according to which, in the event of violation of peace and security, confiscation of the property of the aggressor country is possible. So far, we are talking about $300 billion of the gold and foreign exchange fund of the Central Bank of Russia, plus another $100 billion of personal assets. After a year of the Russian-Ukrainian war, Ukraine will actually receive almost $5.5 billion of confiscated money from the Russian oligarch Konstantin Malafeyev, and also about $26 million that Canada seizes from the oligarch Roman Abramovich. Ukraine itself continues to confiscate. This brought the state budget of the country more than $433 million of income. The government of Ukraine will soon make a decision on the seizure of more than 900 objects of property rights of the aggressor country. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Yulia Bezborodko, UATV News.